Day, everyone. We have a nice variation of a classic hero walk coming at you today for Remembrance Day. So take a moment, take some moments of silence before this work set, enjoy, and have some fun with this work set. So before we get to the work set, today we got forearm plank to Dolphin for 3 reps. Floor facing angel with extension for 3 with that fist position on the floor. Prone shoulder raise 6 to 10 alternating reps. Humeral glide to knee push up for 3, 1 to 2 rounds. Hitting that up just to really fire up your shoulders because they're going to get used today in this work set. So have some fun with it and get yourself prepped. You can even add a 3rd round there if you'd like to give those shoulders a little extra love. After that, we have plank knee for 6 to 10 alternating reps. Kettlebell / dumbbell deadlift for 3 to 5 reps. Kettlebell / dumbbell swing for 3 to 5. And then a side plank reach through for 15 seconds per side. So it's really going to give you a chance to really find that kind of positioning and work on that shoulder stability and some balance with that core rotation. Our workout today, though, is a 20-minute AMRAP. So you're going to cycle through that pretty quickly today and get some serious rounds. 2 renegade rows per side, push up for 4, so it's going to be a little double whammy in that plank position. And then you're going to move into a dumbbell kettlebell swing for 8. So we get a plank row and a plank push. So you might have to break those things up a little bit as we go. We don't want the Renegade Row to be super heavy, depending on what you have access to. You want to make sure that you can hit 2, set yourself up, hit 2, and then continue on. You're going to AMRAP that for 20 minutes. So keep it steady, keep it smooth. The push-ups are going to slowly start to peter out. Even though it's only 4, they are going to start to become a nuisance in this workout. So if you have to break it up 3, 1, 2, 2, whatever you need to do, make sure you get her done to keep that body position strong. Let's warm you up. Let's get you ready to tackle this nice, long, steady AMRAP. Feet under the hips. We'll take the arms up big and tall. We're going to reach it overhead. We're going to stretch it over to one side. We're going to come back up overhead. Reaching to the other side. We're going to come back up overhead. Scratch your back and then reach through the elbow. We're going to come back up. Big stretch. We're going to scratch our back again. Reaching through the elbow. Back up overhead, take it all the way to the floor, touching those toes. From here, we're going to walk up the shins. We're going to come back down, frame the foot, step back into your lizard. We're going to take that inside hand to the ceiling, and we're going to rotate the forearm to the floor. We're going to come back up, and we're going to rotate to the floor. Coming back up, and then rotate again to the floor. Back up to the sky, let's plant the hand. Let's step her back into our down dog as we reach our hips nice and high. Setting those shoulders, hold for a beat or 2. We'll come back into that plank, nice and strong here. We're going to step the other foot up, nice and squaring those hips. Inside hand reaches, and rotate forearm down. We come back up, and then rotate again, forearm down. And last one, rotating, forearm down. Big tall stretch, plant the hand, step her back. Into that down dog as we reach those hips. Press through those arms. And then come back into that plank. Pressing the floor away. We'll tiptoe those feet all the way in. Slowly roll our body up. Big tall stretch. Reach over to one side. Reach to the other side. Come down with those hands. And rock and roll. All right, you guys. Let's have any extra movement you can play around with. You can take that down now. Pause that video, rock that, get it done. A little bit of shoulder love, a little bit of hip love maybe. We're going to come at you with a lot of shoulder love right after this. All right, you guys, let's rock it. We're going to start off with a forearm plank to Dolphin. So we're going to get ourselves set up in that nice forearm plank. So elbow under the shoulder, shoulder nice and stacked. And we're going to set ourselves up, forearms down, pushing through the floor. And we're going to pull the hips back. If we need to walk the feet in a little closer, we can. So we're going to push that chest towards the thigh, feeling that nice strong position through the lats, and then we'll come back into our plank. So we're pulling the hips back and up, pushing that chest towards the thighs, and then coming back into that lovely plank. So very similar to our plank to down dog, except it's going to have a little less range of motion, because it's a lot more demand on our lats and our triceps. So if you're relatively tight there, it's going to be a little bit more intensive. I'd like to see you guys really soften the knees for this so you can really focus on that hip angle to make sure that we're hitting that proper position. Now don't fret if you can't go very far with this, that's okay. We're just taking this time to really attack those lats and those triceps. From there, we're gonna move on to our stomach into the bottom of our push-up position. Except this time we're gonna have our knuckles down. So our fists are vertical, all right? So our thumbs are up towards our armpits. My eyes are straight ahead. I'm gonna pull my ribs in. I'm gonna pull my shoulders and elbows back off the floor. I'm gonna press those arms straight. And I'm gonna come back in and lower and relax. So we're trying to maintain this strong position through the core, like we do in our prone shoulder raise, which is coming up next. But we're also maintaining that as we retract the scapula back, pulling the hands off the floor. So we're not losing this position as we squeeze back. So if your hands don't come very far off the floor, that's okay. You're then gonna press straight back, extending those arms, and then pulling back into the bottom position, and then lowering. I would suggest resetting that core position on every rep to make sure that you are stable and we're not breaking through the midsection. Now after that, we're gonna stay on our stomach in our prone shoulder raise. So we're gonna extend the arms out nice and straight. Toes are pressing into the floor. We're gonna pull our ribs in. Armpits press down, eyes are looking down. And then we're gonna lift one arm up as we maintain that nice strong torso and body position. Then we lift the other arm up, lower down. Lift an arm up, lower down, lift the other arm up, lower down. We're gonna work on that back and forth. Again, trying to maintain that same rib position as our floor facing angel. Once we're done our prone shoulder raise, we're gonna pull our hands into our chest, bottom of the push-up. Palms are open, flat on the floor. We're gonna pull the shoulders forward where we don't want them in a push-up. We're gonna pull them back to where we do. Pull the ribs in, push to our knees in that knee plank. Now maintaining this nice tight position. That was really hard to say. We're gonna lower forward and down. Chest leading the show, and then we come down with the body. Shoulders come forward, shoulders come back. Pull the ribs in, push through the knees. Again, lowering forward and down, maintaining that nice tripod position through the hands and the head. So really focusing on that good tripod, making sure that we're in a nice solid bottom position at the bottom of our push-up. Now as a quick recap, we have a forearm plank to dolphin for 3. Very slow, smooth reps there. Floor facing angel with extension, 3 reps with that closed fist position. Prone shoulder raise, 6 to 10 alternating reps. Humeral glide to knee push-up for 3. We're gonna hit that for 1 to 2, maybe even a third round, depending on how much love you wanna give those shoulders. Now from there, we're gonna move into our plank lean, all right? So a little bit of core work, and we're gonna get ourselves kind of fired up for what's to come in our workout. So pause the video, start with that first half, working on those shoulders and that core. Come join me for some leans and some deadlifts. All right, we're back and we're ready to start working on some leans. So we're gonna get ourselves set up in a nice strong plank. Hands just outside the shoulders. We're gonna push the floor away and stay active. And we're gonna shift our weight to one side, and then we're gonna shift our weight to the other side. Now coming back through center, we're gonna make sure that that core is set, those shoulders are active. We're gonna lean, and then we're gonna lean. So we're really focusing on maintaining that really strong upper body position as we shift back and forth the entire time. Because we're gonna use that in that Renegade Row later on. So we just wanna use this as an opportunity to start waking up those positions. Now after that, we're gonna stand up and get ourselves a kettlebell or a dumbbell. We're gonna work on a single arm dumbbell or deadlift or a nice solid kettlebell with 2 hands on the dumbbell. We're gonna work a sumo position. So the dumbbell is between our feet, mimicking our kettlebell swing later on. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna stand right over top of that dumbbell or kettlebell. We're gonna stand ourselves up. We're gonna take our hips back and down. So it's gonna be a little lower than normal if you have a kettlebell. If we're using a dumbbell, because it's a little lower to the ground. We'll push through those legs, maintaining that nice strong back position. And then we're gonna draw those hips back and down into that nice solid position here. Pushing through those legs, starting to fire up our hamstrings and our hinge, because we're going to use our kettlebell swing, that same hinge, in a little bit more dynamic fashion. So once we're done our 3 to 5 deads per side, or 3 to 5 deads holding onto the kettlebell, we're going to switch over to our kettlebell or dumbbell swing. Now, with the dumbbell, you can hold it by the bell, you can hold it by the handle, or you can do a single arm swing. So if you're doing a single, you're going to do 3 to 5 per side. If you're doing the other variations, you'll just do 3 to 5 in total. So in terms of what we're looking at here, regardless of how you hold the kettlebell or the dumbbell, the mechanics are the same. Our feet are roughly about a squat stance or just outside hip width, whatever gives us enough room to get the kettlebell between our feet. We're going to stand up nice and tall. We're going to draw back into that power position, that little hinge, and then we're going to stand tall. And let that energy from the lower half carry into the arms and the dumbbell. And you'll notice when I'm standing, I'm just standing up straight. So I'm standing up to a tall position as I allow my legs and hips to do the work. Now, with this, you notice my feet weren't really coming off the floor. We want to use as much of that flat foot action and drive as we can. If the heels come off the ground a little bit, that's okay, but we do want to try and stay as connected to the floor as we can with those kettlebell swings. That just keeps us grounded and balanced and allowing us to use the floor for energy to get that movement going. Something very important to keep in mind when it comes to kettlebell swings or dumbbell swings is that we're not controlling the bell. Okay, we move with the bell, and we're going to control our body position around that kettlebell as we work that swing. So in terms of that swing, we just want to let those legs, hips do their work, allow the arms just to guide it to the range that the legs and hips will bring the kettlebell or dumbbell. Once we're done those 3 to 5 swings, what we're going to work on is a little shoulder stability exercise, a side plank reach through. So we're going to get ourselves set up in a nice side plank. So shoulder over top of the hand, other hand up to the sky, and my hips are up nice and active. I'm going to pull this arm down, working through that nice range of motion, and then I'm going to come back up, overhead, and then find my balance, and then rotate through as far as I can, and then come back up into that position. So they're not fast reps, but what we're looking for is good time under tension and good control through that rotation of the body. Now if you're looking at that going, no, if I do that with a single hand and stacked feet, I'm going to fall over, right? We can work on a knee support, so we can work on from the tabletop. We extend one leg back, turn that hip so we're open to the side in the supported side plank. Hand is still under the shoulder. My other arm comes up into that side plank, and I'm going to work through that same motion, except I'm going to keep my knee down so I can work on and focus on that rotation. I'm not concerned about being a knee down or a straight leg plank. What I'm concerned about is building that comfort with the rotation and your balance. So that's a nice compromise to continue working on the rotation for the shoulder and that stability in those ranges for the shoulder. So as a quick recap, we have a plank lean for 6 to 10, kettlebell/dumbbell deadlift for 3 to 5, kettlebell/dumbbell swing for 3 to 5 reps, and the side plank reach through for 15 seconds a side. 2 to 3 rounds, we're going to hit that up, figuring out some working weight for our swing, just getting used to that swing a little bit and working on waking up our shoulders and getting ourselves ready in some different types of range of motion. So pause that video, take it down, warm yourself up, figure out your working weight. We're going to move into our work set now, and we're going to go over a couple pieces of the Renegade Row and a few key points of the push-up. All right, now, with our Renegade Row, we're going to kickstart off our work set with that. We haven't actually talked about it yet in the work set. We have done some leans to try and get our shoulders ready for that shifting of body weight. But our first exercise in the workout is a Renegade Row. So we're going to take our dumbbell and we're going to place it right over or underneath of our chest. So my hands are going to go on either side in that plank. And I'm going to separate my feet into a squat or a straddle stance. Pushing the floor away, I'm going to shift, take hold of the dumbbell, pull to the rib, bring it back down. Then I'm going to shift, switch hands, and pull. So if I'm going to do the alternating variation of the Renegade Row, I'm going to do 4 total count reps. Now the other variation you could do with this is 2 per side today. So we're gonna get ourselves set up, same position. I shift my weight, take hold, 1, touch it down, 2, touch it down, shift, and then do the same thing on the other side. So we have 2 different variations with load. Now if you're looking at this going, I'm not comfortable doing that with weight, Dave, not just yet. That's okay. What we can do is we can set ourselves up in the same plank formation. So my feet are a little bit apart. I'm still gonna shift my weight. I'm gonna pull my hand to my hip, hold it for a couple seconds, come down. I can alternate, or I can do 2 on one side, 2 on the other side with about a 3-second pause. Because that's gonna put us at a slight kind of off-balance plank and a 3-point plank position, so we can build some stability there with that 3-second hold in that position. So really taking the time to kind of zero that in. Now once we're done our Renegade Row workout, we move into some push-ups. And if you've been doing push-ups on an elevated surface at home, keep it up, keep working on that good skill. Find an elevated surface, counter, couch, chair, whatever it happens to be, ottoman, that finds your happy range, and then we can maintain a good core position. If you're looking at using the floor today, we have 3 variations from the floor. We get ourselves set up in our plank, we pull ourselves forward and down, touching our chest to the floor, and then coming back up. That's my full toe push-up, finding that nice stacked elbow position in the tripod that we use in our Humeral glide to knee push-up. Now if we have the lower, but not quite the strength to do the push yet, we can lower through our toes, drop the knees, press up, come back and finish in our plank. Lower, knees, and up. It's the same start position, same tripod position. The only difference is I'm pushing through my knees. So the hard part about that is maintaining tension through my midsection as I lower my knees down. We want in our mind to think that that press is not happening with our knees. So we have to stay just as tight as we were when we lowered as we do when we push through our knees. So we have to make sure that that stays the same. Now our last variation is our knee push-up, but we are going to step the position from the toes, lowering the knees straight down, so I'm in my nice hollow knee plank, and I come forward and down, still setting that nice tripod, same bottom position as the first 2, as the Humeral glide. The only difference is I'm pushing through my knees from the entire process. So a couple different variations, some good tools to build up in that movement set to kind of further those push-ups along. Once we're done our push-ups, we're going to move into 8 dumbbell or kettlebell swings. Whatever style you're planning on using. Remember that if you're doing a single arm swing, it will be 8 total counts, so it will be 4 per side, not 8 per side, 4 per side, very important. And then you'll repeat. So as a recap, our workout is a 20-minute AMRAP, Renegade Row, 2 per side, or alternating for 4, 4 push-ups, 8 kettlebell swings or dumbbell swings, repeat, repeat, repeat. So you're gonna find that this is gonna slowly start to slow down over the 20 minutes, but you're also gonna try and find a nice pace that you can just keep moving for those 20 minutes. So you're gonna get quite a few rounds of this, and that is A-OK. I hope you guys enjoy this work set. Have a fantastic Remembrance Day. Remember to take a moment before or after this work set, remembering those who gave their lives for us to enjoy the lives and the freedoms that we have today. Take that in, enjoy, and have a fantastic day. As always, you guys, work for quality, have tons of fun. We'll see you tomorrow for our Friday before we move into our Hero Weekend. Bye, you guys.